Nah.
Yeah, but if you have to
Can you talk one at a time, please? It's really hard to get all the information when you're all yelling. So.
How about you?
Me. Yeah.
Someone go.
Somebody go.
Well, if I were to have, no, I would have an abortion because I personally know that I couldn't look after a kid and I probably resent it for the rest of my life at this point.
Yeah,
no, I'm just being honest because I know plenty of mothers who are that way when they've had children when they're very young. Not always, I'm just saying some.
We're talking about like right now, not like in
Like
2
right now,
years,
like
5
tomorrow if I
years.
found out I was pregnant, I'd have an abortion.
If you were to have a child within the next year, essentially.
Yeah.
So you
What-
fell pregnant tomorrow.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I would probably resent the child as well, and the child would have a good upbringing. And plus that, I suppose I'm still pretty, I'm close to my family still, and my family would not look kindly upon me if I got pregnant before marriage. And just the whole shame that falls upon you by
So
society.
it'd be a religious, partly religious.
Not religious, more of culture, I'd say.
Cultural.
Yeah.
Does anyone think they would be financially stable if they were to have a child within the next year?
If you live in Australia, then you have a
You'd be
choice.
financially stable.
If my parents
Stop it! What is it?
My cousin's there.
Conflicting both.
I'm getting rid of my cousin's there.
That includes your parents. If your parents would support it,
Oh, yeah.
it's all means, including government bonuses.
Yeah, so
That would be unfair to make your parents support your child. They just finished raising you, especially when we're at
They're
this
still
age.
raising me.
Exactly. That's not fair that you just expect them to be able to do that for you.
okay, this lady here.
Yeah, but then.
I was just going to say that I think it would be possible, but there is a difference between having enough money to just survive, but be stressing and whatnot, and then having enough money to be comfortable and being able to raise your child in the way that you would want to. Do you think money would be the main issue right now for not having a baby?
No.
No.
Shame.
What do you reckon? Yeah, it's a shame. Do you reckon there's anything else that would stop you?
Just not being
Just
ready.
your general
Not being
age.
Maturity.
mature enough, not having a
like all
job.
your plans for the future, you know, would be like.
Hence the resentment that would come after the birth of the baby, you know?
Do you really reckon if you could resent something though that's...
I could totally resent it.
I think it's a lot to do with circumstances too. Like a lot of relationships at this age aren't very stable, and
I'm not saying you have to be in a relationship.
yeah. But I think that if I was going to have a baby, I would want to be in a relationship. Like if I got knocked up like from a random, then I'd be more likely to abort that than if I was in a relationship with someone for like quite a while.
Great quote there.
And if I was raped, it would be gone.
Yeah,
Like-
we're gonna get on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
That's a question.
So just basically people who would not have an abortion, is that like moral and religious beliefs, or
I'm not religious,
Yeah.
but I just would.
but is like your morals and I telling
I just,
Morals,
yeah, as far as
Be
morals, but I just,
moral.
I don't know. I believe that even at that very first moment, I believe that is a person. I mean, I know they're not, they probably can't feel, they can't think for themselves, but I still believe that that's a person. To me, that's just, yeah, but I know that there's like, yeah, it's different for everybody, but for me, that's what it is.
So no one who wouldn't have an abortion has nothing to do with religion? Like no
No, I
one...
do, like,
Yeah.
Catholic Church is completely against abortion, so that is a big issue for me as well, like, it's completely against my religion.
So you wouldn't have an abortion because of your religion?
I don't think so, at this
Okay.
point.
It's all
Like,
hypothetical.
If I was, I know what I would do if I
Let's
was in the
move
actual
on.
situation, but right now, I don't see it.
All right, does anyone know the current Queensland legislation on abortion? Hands up.
Sorry.
Does anyone know the current Queensland legislation on abortion?
It's not legal at the moment. Isn't there something else?
Put your hands up if you do know the law.
Technically, that is an
So-
abortion, you're right. The morning after, you just walk in and like fill in like a piece of paper and they give it to you and that's like an abortion in a box. isn't
Well,
it?
it's not really an abortion. I think it strips the uterus's lining so you don't have the opportunity to get pregnant, but technically there hasn't been like that.
It's like a second...
The joining